see here that only during the last decade we see increase in the natural disasters globally in almost double itself. Beneath you can see, is it with laser? I can pinpoint, no? Okay, we can see here the breakdown of the different disaster types by floods, droughts, earthquakes, and we can see that even within the subcategories of the disaster events, we can see a tremendous increase, specifically with the floods. We can see at this slide that disasters doesn't know any boundaries. So it's not says that disaster will affect only developing countries, but it also, as you see at this slide, can hit pretty hard Western countries. As you see, a heat wave in the U.S. during the last decade caused death to almost 230 people. So it's another fact that I would like you to take in mind during this presentation. And let's drill a bit deeper, and we'll see the financial impact of disasters on the countries that experiencing that. And we see that the financial impact, it's pretty much in the, we can see in the Americas, 129 billion just during the last decade, etc. The rest of the numbers in Asia. Hold on, so now I'm, okay. So this was the slide that I was meaning for the financial impact. And now we can see a graph that's showing the financial demand of the humanitarian aid. We can see that the blue line, it's representing the requirements for humanitarian aid on global scale for addressing the vulnerable communities. And the yellow one, it's the actual funds that these NGOs receiving at the end of the day. And this the gray area that you see, this is actually the financial gap that humanitarian organizations, NGOs, and UN agencies facing with to address the needs of the people in need. So my name is Anton Driz. I'm an international development expert. I have over a decade experience in working in a humanitarian field, particularly in water infrastructure rehabilitation and improvement in vulnerable areas. And after a decade of working in very complex areas, I realized that over 30% of the humanitarian aid, it's failing. And why? Due to lack of reliable data that will assist us to address the needs on the ground, and also to track and to monitor the interventions that we implement in such areas. This is exactly why I joined Monday.com. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the company, but it's a SaaS company, non-code platform for project management. And basically what the founders realized that the solutions they created can enhance and boost the emergency operations for the governments and NGOs by implementing this platform in their core operations. And this is what we are doing within our team. So it's not the updated one, but doesn't matter. We will be the first responders usually in emergencies. We're taking a proactive approach, basically. We go into disaster, as the recent one in Turkey, the earthquake, and try to imagine yourself sitting in a position of a decision maker and you facing with such a chaotic scenario, okay? Almost a quarter, maybe fifth of your country just wiped out from the earthquake, and how you taking the right decisions in a matter of hours based on evidence from the field. We were also within the first ones that flew to Poland to receive the refugees that escaped from the war in Ukraine. And we assist the Poland government to control and operate the temporarily shelters for the displaced people that they created there. And again, this is also a very sad picture that behind scenes you can imagine how many layers of information running and building this scenario. We worked jointly with the Red Cross in South Africa following the recent floods there in the Durban area that caused death to over 400 people. And in a nutshell, just in the last year, we deployed for over 15 different disasters around the globe. And this is the breakdown of 36% of that were floods and hurricanes and armed conflict, etc. What are we doing? Okay, I don't know how many of you familiar how the natural disaster actually managed, like, okay, but this is how it works. You can see here from the left side, okay, this is how the largest INGOs as the Red Cross collecting data after disasters. They just send in their volunteers, pen and paper, go ahead, interview these people, okay? And after that, collecting all this bunch of papers and documents, and they need to manage that, timely respond and address the needs and the challenges of the affected communities. So I guess by just introduction of these few slides, you got the point, what are we aiming for. So this is how database looks like after the volunteers brought their bunch of papers and they convert that into Excel spreadsheets. Okay, they start they need to react accordingly to the golden hours. There is some frame of golden hours which says 48 hours after the emergency emerge, you have the window to actually save lives of the people that have been affected. And you as a decision makers need to get these insights out of this database set. Excel spreadsheets, good luck. Yeah, 4. Peace. So what are we doing at Monday? We're taking these messy databases, okay, and we converting them into actionable dashboards. This is like I'm trying to create momentum. I'm kidding. It's just a very slow computer. It's white slide because there were some. Sorry. Okay, so, זה לא מנגן. Okay, so basically also it should be a video that's running through down the dashboard, and basically we know how to generate real-time dashboards for these decision makers that will give them in a glance, similar to Patricia? Patricia, yeah. Similar to what you just showed in your presentation, but our approach, it's more to be bottom up rather just the top down. So we know how to reach the affected communities, to understand who is the main organization or the government that coordinate the whole response, and we basically creating EOCs. EOC, it's Emergency Operation Centers. As part of our operation, we contributing fully in kind the Monday platform, our teams that flying to the emergency events to train and to characterize and design the solutions. We also train the people, our partners, to make sure that during our stay, they will have a complete ownership of the platform, that it won't create any dependencies or something like that. And eventually, we will assist them to go through a digital transformation, which we believe our theory of change that will breach the financial gap that I just showed you in the third slide, that between the requirements and the actual funds for disaster reliefs. So this is a glimpse on our operations. It was a very quick presentation, so I hope that it was clear. Please, you're welcome to scan this QR code and visit our site if you have any potential or idea for partnership or interesting projects to discuss on, so please don't hesitate. Yeah, thank you very much.